In the next 5 years, most entry-level jobs will disappear. AI is already replacing more and more of these jobs, destroying any chance for Gen Z to gain a foothold in the job market.
Guess who's applied to 200 different jobs and has gotten 0 replies yet?
Amazon is pushing forward with a plan to use robots to do 600,000 jobs that humans would normally do. The New York Times, citing leaked documents, reports Amazon will automate 75% of its operations within several years. Amazon estimates automation will help it save more than $12 billion and shave 30 cents off each item it ships.
UPS just cut 48,000 jobs, guys. But don't worry, it's to improve efficiency, they said. Translation there, robots don't need healthcare. How is this going to affect everything going forward? Because we're over 1 million layoffs already in 2025.
Intel just announced this week they're dropping 24,000 people. 24 more thousand people are getting laid off, and this is what's happening with AI restructuring.
We look at how Gen Z and millennials have been betrayed, but also what the solutions are. Because as dark as the outlook may be, we young people have the power to fundamentally change this entire system. The job apocalypse. Anyone who has looked for a job in recent years has seen how catastrophic the job market is. Job postings that attract hundreds or even thousands of applicants. A large portion of supposed job offers are ghost jobs. In other words, fakes that don't actually exist. And their number keeps growing.
What if I told you that at least half of the jobs you're applying to are fake job postings and that company is not hiring at all?
When I was trying to get a part-time job, people be like, oh, just look on Indeed. They have so many blah. If you go on Indeed, there's literally so many scam job listings on there. It's nuts. Like, you apply for something and then next thing you know, people blowing up your phone left and right, people that you never even applied for.
Expectations for applicants have become completely unrealistic.
The job experience I have hasn't gotten anything. I've been putting in applications. Nothing is being said. I don't know what I'm supposed to do. I am legitly scared.
You basically need to prove that you don't need this job and you're willing to work for no money in order to even be considered for the job. 5 meetings, 5 interview rounds is not just 5 days that you spend interviewing. You have to buy outfits. You have to research the role. You have to basically do this for 2 weeks in order to then be told, no, we're going with someone else. Even if they have other open positions, you're starting over. It's inhuman by design.
Conditions and pay are terrible. Mass layoffs happen due to automation and cost cutting, just to make investors even richer, and a complete dehumanization of the hiring process. From AI systems filtering applications to AI avatars conducting interviews.
Here at our company, we take pride in being a family, and family is everything. We only love working with the best of the best, and unfortunately, today, that's just not you.
The exploitation and abuse of workers' desperation has crossed the line. The ones hit hardest are young people, millennials, and especially Gen Z. The results? Poverty, chronic stress, hopelessness. Meanwhile, the super rich, who already have more money than they could ever spend, keep getting richer. We can see where this leads in East Asia. The youth is giving up completely. In Japan, they are called the Low Desire Society. In China, it's the Lying Flat or Let It Rot movement. In Korea, the Giving Up generation. Why bother working hard when hard work isn't rewarded? Costs rise faster than wages, and every few years another bubble bursts, triggering yet another crisis. Another wealth transfer from the poor to the rich. You've always been told that higher education would improve your chances in the job market and guarantee a comfortable life, that it would be worth the money and the effort. But the reality is, it's all a massive scam. For today's graduates, it's impossible to ever pay off their student debt.
The way student loans and education is going to be unobtainable to pay for people. I mean, it's already been happening over the last several years. It's going to rapidly increase.
The costs are far too high and the wages far too low.
I got laid off from my corporate job yesterday. And I think that this is the reality for a lot of Americans right now, and it needs to be shared because America is not doing well right now. We have a 94% prediction rate that the recession is going to come, but yet our frickin' administration hasn't even made the move to actually say that a recession is coming. And let's actually call it what it is, a depression. People can't afford groceries, they can't afford rent, they can't afford buying houses, they can't afford having babies, they can't afford having the kids in general if they already have them. We are not in a good spot, y'all. I know that I'm just a number in a company, but I thought I was okay. You're going to think that you're okay because you've worked there for so long or you have the right experience. Like, you guys, I have an undergraduate in marketing, a master's in business, 6 years of paid social media experience, both on a strategist and manager level. I have done people management for at least 3 years. I'm a senior level in my career. And yet, when I was hired to do a senior level role, I was forced into entry level positions. I was doing entry-level work as a senior-level strategist, all while at the same time being asked to reduce my workload with AI, and our team was having layoffs every 3 months. We all saw the jobs report. It was awful. Getting laid off on the day that the jobs report goes out, and it's 22,000 instead of 75,000 new jobs. You know how discouraging that is?
And the longer it takes to pay off the loan, the more interest you pay. Which means the poorer you are, the more you pay. And Gen Z is by far the poorest generation. As more and more young people earn higher degrees, there's now an oversupply of highly educated workers, while AI automation replaces exactly the kind of jobs these graduates train for.
When y'all said the job market was bad, I thought y'all meant like 6-figure jobs. Why did I just get rejected from McDonald's? I have a college degree, a 4-year degree. I'm working on a master's. Why is it this hard to get a job?
There is no upward mobility. You will like to. Economic metrics are also complete nonsense. GDP is defined as the sum of household consumptions, plus investment, plus government spending, plus exports, minus imports. For example, when imports decline or investors pour billions into a few tech giants, politicians can say, look, GDP is great, while most businesses go bankrupt and the population suffers. GDP is a made-up metric that has no relevance to your quality of life. But for politicians, it's easier to push up this useless number than to actually improve your life. The stock market is equally detached from reality. When stocks fall, the poor get poorer. When stocks rise, the rich get richer. In our system, unemployment and stock prices can rise at the same time. It's absurd.
You know, talking about corporations can't afford to do a higher minimum wage, or they're going to have to increase prices. And it's like, well, you know, the Starbucks CEO is making like 900% more than their staff. He doesn't need to make 900% more, whatever the number is. There's money around. The stock price can maybe be $5 less. You know, there's some of these things. It's like it's just so absurd how we are justifying their actions, and then we choose to be upset and blame each other.
And politicians manipulate statistics like unemployment rates to boost their egos. In the US, unemployment data only counts people actively looking for work. Those who've given up searching, who can't live off that job, who are too sick to work, or who work at least 1 hour per week, they aren't counted at all. So when politicians claim the economy is doing well, while you experience the opposite, your suspicion is right. It's all lies. And those very lies are the foundation on which politicians operate. So it's no wonder they have no idea what ordinary people are going through. Everything is too expensive. Older generations have the chance to live comfortably. Younger generations are struggling just to survive.
How are y'all surviving? Because I'm not. I got paid today, and it's gone. Goes toward the mortgage, cell phone bill, gas and electric, garbage. Everything gone. between kid insurance, car insurance between my husband and I, everything gone. And then I have to go to the grocery store. This isn't even factoring in groceries for a family of fucking 4.
Okay, I just want to be real for a second. Why are we being priced out of groceries? Why did it cost me $1,000 last month to feed my 4 kids? At this point, I don't even eat. I just have enough food to feed my kids. Is this the plan? Is this the goal? In what world is this okay? Pricing the American people out of being able to buy groceries for their family. I mean, what happens next? This is sick. I don't get it. What's the end goal? We starve.
For decades, prices have risen faster than wages. The critical point where the generational contract breaks has long been passed. Inflation and corporate greed have completely drained the majority of the population. Every crisis gave the powerful a new excuse to transfer even more wealth from the poor to the rich. Politicians and banks claim that more money needs to be printed and more debt taken on to stimulate the economy. But these very actions devalue your money. They are hidden, constant tax increase that only benefit those who can afford assets. For young people, building any capital is basically impossible. They live paycheck to paycheck, one illness away from ruin. Since corporations have already priced them out of every luxury, they now resort to price gouging even on basic necessities, just to please investors. But every person needs a place to live. Housing is a basic human right. Yet instead of being used for living, real estate is treated as an investment vehicle, driving prices higher and higher. Older generations could afford a home of but just a few years. That dream is completely out of reach for today's generations. Even rent is so unaffordable that many people in their 30s still have to live with their parents, simply because there's no alternative. And then they are told it's their fault, that they should be ashamed. It's gaslighting, plain and simple.
According to a Cigna survey, Gen Z is the most stressed generation of all time.
The people responsible for this mess are making the same mistakes they made back in 2008. Prices keep rising until no one can afford anything. And when the market finally realizes there are no buyers, everything collapses. And who has to bear the suffering but follows? It's you, of course. In China, this has already happened this year, and the rest of the world is next. These crashes are inevitable. They are part of the very system we live in. Why politicians ignore you. I've already hinted at how detached from reality politicians are. They live in a completely different world than you do. They are too old, too rich, and benefit from the status quo. Lobbying, corruption, and the hunger for power are symptoms of a dysfunctional system. Lies are rewarded. Whoever lies best becomes the country's top ruler. What the majority of people actually want doesn't matter. Only what the elite wants gets implemented. Yet the younger generations are ones being ignored the most.
The government is upset that there's a low birth rate in the United States of America, but we can't even feed the children that we have in this country right now. We can't feed our children. Our children's classmates go to school hungry. Their parents don't have snacks in cupboards. Their refrigerators are empty. They count how many days they eat on the road so they can save that one fucking snack for Friday night when they get home from school. And you're asking us why we're not having children? You have taken away every opportunity for us to make sure our children are thriving, healthy. Kids are hoarding food because they don't know when the next time they're gonna fucking have it. Mothers are stealing formula from Target that is $53 a fucking can. It's a specialty formula because mom, unfortunately, with all the stress she has to live through, can't fucking produce milk because she's stressed out over bills or where she's gonna live if her fucking car's gonna get repossessed. But you're wondering why the fuck we're not procreating? I love an orgasm just like the next person. But if I fucking have one more baby, everything I have established now will fucking fall apart. You don't think I want to see another little baby running around in my house, I would fucking love to. My kids would die for it. I'm a better person today than I was 20 years ago when I had children. And I could do an amazing job with this baby, but I can't afford it. And I logically know that my children would suffer because of this one baby that I want. So do I put my wants ahead of my children? No. And the government is pissed off that we all fucking woke up. When you have to put a food bank in a daycare parking lot so mothers know that it's safe to go get some food for the weekend for your children, that's a motherfucking problem.
In Western countries, politics is shaped by an electoral system that makes it impossible for Gen Z to ever be heard through voting. The older part of the population represents the majority of votes. Since winning those votes is enough to secure an election, the minority of young people is neglected. Short-term pseudo solutions are implemented, ones that cause even more long-term damage. The only thing that matters is looking good until the next election. But as the youth face increasingly catastrophic conditions, each generation becomes smaller, and therefore even less relevant in the voting system. A vicious cycle. Change through elections is not possible in the current system. That's not a flaw. It's by design.
The corporations see us as workers and numbers on a page, not as humans. The media sees us as consumers. How do we keep your attention so that Dove soap and Aveeno will pay us more in advertising commercials, or pharmaceutical companies? Like, we need your attention. You're a consumer. And politicians see us as voters. Like, the three most powerful entities don't see us as human beings. They kind of pander to us and say, we really care about, getting your wages up and everything. It's like every decision you make is for the GDP to keep growing and capitalism to keep winning at the level that it's winning. Like, and that's the most frustrating thing to me, is like, anytime I hear a politician or a media person be like, our country, I go, what you mean is you mean capitalism. Replace country with capitalism, and then everything they say will make sense.
Is anyone else just tired, just exhausted? The system that we live in today, the world that we live in today, I really do not think that it was meant for humans to live like this. We have a world where all we do is chase paper, gold at $4,300 an ounce, or almost. For what? You can't eat it. We have a system where we run. For what? I don't think it's natural for humans to live like this.
The solutions. Even though things may look like they are only getting worse, and there's no way out, there are solutions. Two simple facts give Gen Z all the power they need. First, birth rates are far too low to keep our current societal systems running. This alone can force politicians to make fundamental changes. Second, our entire monetary system is built on trust. If we stop trusting our money, we can replace it with something better. A fairer system. We will soon present the solutions emerging from these two facts on this channel. Change will not come from above. The powerful are desperately trying to keep the current system alive, even though its collapse is inevitable. That's why real change toward a better world can only come from you, the younger generations. The necessary solutions already exist. All that's missing is coordination. This channel will show you everything you need to know in the upcoming videos. So please subscribe and share it with the people you care about. Let's build a better world together.